Welcome. Have you ever wondered how fashion and comedy or a comedian could come together? Well, you're going to learn today. Our guest today, Mrs. Kim Vaughn Extraordinaire, she is going to talk to you about that. And you are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
I swear to God, if my stripper name wasn't Icy Hot, I would have, no, right now I got a divorce. I left Long John. Ain't easy being a parasite chick. My marriage is, anybody married? 13 people. But you know what? I just lost 250 pounds. I sent that Negro home to his mama's house. We can't do this no more, Raheem. Take that Xbox with you. I got one joke and I'm about to leave, and it goes like this. 3 women on Spirit. That's a whole new set. Y'all better book me to hear it. Pilot said, Mayday, Mayday, we are going down. 3 women said, oh my God, I can't believe this. Asian lady said, oh, wait a minute, you. Open up her purse, put on all her jewelry. White lady, black lady said, what you do that for? Everybody know the rich can save her first. White lady said, oh yeah, watch this. Took off her bra, took off her shirt, boobs bouncing everywhere. They said, what'd you do that for? She said, sexy gets saved first. Black lady said, are y'all ready? I said, what? She took off her pants, took off her panties, just stood there. They said, what'd you do that for? She said, because everybody knows when the plane crashed, they look for the black box first.
Well, Kim, we brought you in. I am so excited about today.
Yes.
Mrs. Kim Vaughn, comedian extraordinaire, Miss International. She travels the world. You know, Kim, this is such a blessing to have you on today.
Yes.
You know, the Marlene Cox Show, we are just so humbled to have you here today and share your experience and knowledge with our listeners. This is amazing. But before we go into it, Kim, you might want to show me how to be a little comedian. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about who is Kim Vaughn.
I'm blessed to be here, first of all. You have a dynamic show, and I'm just humbled that I'm part of this great puzzle that you have. I'm Kim Vaughn. I am a comedian, a speaker, a mom, and I'm now a nana. I didn't know what I was going to be until she came out. So I'm now a nana. I don't want Mimi, Gigi, but yeah, so I'm a nana. And it's been 18 plus amazing years.
Wow.
And I started out modeling and actually have on my resume the French Lick Casino account. So I was the French Lick lady who was throwing the dice over the table. And I've represented trunk shows for Derby, the Kentucky Derby. I've done a lot of just expeditions, and I've done some designer work. Linda Robeson, I modeled for her and was with Cosmos for a little while. So what you're doing, I'm so excited about.
Oh, well, thank you. And, we're so excited that the team, they don't know it, but the team is sitting around the room. So the team sitting around the room, but this is one of the things that I was just, first of all, a mom. Because you can have a career and you can balance that career.
Oh, yeah.
And you can raise gracious and great kids. And you were coming out of that modeling. And see, models need to know, you might start as a model. You might end up as a comedian. You might end up as a dresser. It's no end to where you can go in your career.
I got discovered because I was a mom.
Wow. Tell us about that.
Cosmos had a model call. And they were looking for kids, and so I, got my kids. I had some very nice looking kids. So I was like, come on, I'm brushing hair and getting my guy spiffy. And so we go, and the casting director, I was like, wow, they're very beautiful. But what about you? And I was like, oh, I know, I'm just a mom, and I'm driving them around. So I didn't know what they were talking, and I'm like, well, I'm too old for this. And they were like, no, what about you?
Yes. Very
and
good.
They were saying there is a huge market for mature models.
Yes.
Women. You see the billboards and it's the mom with the wheelchair and her sons in the cast, and so I begin to see that modeling is actually timeless.
Yes, and that's one of the things people don't get, Kim.
Yeah.
Let's say a little bit on modeling, and we'll go right into being. They don't understand that it's timeless. When I was coming along at 23, 24, 26, you old.
Yeah.
But now we have models, associate models that associate with us who are 70, and they be rocking the runway, girl, rocking it. So it is a timeless thing. And not only that, it's more to running the runway or taking a photo shoot. There's some acting that comes involved. And we try to tell models, you got to be well-rounded. You got to be able to articulate.
Yes.
You have to be able to know how to interact with people. You have to. It's a well-rounded career. And guess what, Kim? And you know that, but the more you know, the further your career
your
goes.
network is your net worth.
Yes.
So
you keep on going with all of the things that you do. You involved into this many different in the industry, and you stand up comedy.
Yes.
And you empower. How did you come from modeling, taking your children around to agencies, and getting into the field, and ended up in this man's world?
Literally.
A man's world, and become a comedian.
I've always had the gift of gab. And it started early on because I was bullied at school.
Oh, wow.
So when you're bullied, I was skinny, I was gawky, I had these big old glasses and French braids.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine it.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that.
But I just, I was just like always picked on. And so the quick wit was, okay, you talk about me, I'm gonna talk about you. I got you. And it was the dozens. So that, along with just loving to make people laugh.
Okay.
Early on, I wanted to be a Mickey Mouseketeer.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm looking at a net full of cello.
Oh, you remember a net?
Oh, my God. Now it's time to say,
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
So when the new Mickey Mouseketeers came around, which was Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake and all, who knew? But my mom started me in the children's theater.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
So from there, it was laughing and just building as a child. You just didn't know where or what this was doing, but I actually started doing voiceovers at age 8.
Wow.
So at characters for after school programs and assemblies. I remember I was this little girl, and
Tell us about it.
we had a real bad rat problem, I guess, in Louisville. And so I was this little girl. Here I am in this hot studio, these big old headphones. And I can to this day hear, because of the twang of Kentucky, I promise I don't have an accent until I talk. People are like, where are you from? So, but I kept saying, wow, Billy, I didn't know rats eat dog food and stuff like that either. And it was like, Kim, either. So, yeah, I went through and did that.
All around doing that. Oh, my goodness.
I actually got, as an adult, I moved to Seattle, Washington. And Marlene, I didn't realize it rains every day from May until October.
Okay.
It might be
we got one in the studio who's come from that part of the country.
Really?
Business that part.
Oh my God.
Janet.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I began to, and I live with depression. I began to see signs and symptoms as an adolescent. And still loving to make people laugh, but internally, and so moving to Washington State, I moved there and I had a 7-month-old and a 4-year-old. That should have told somebody I was loony then.
But it seems like a quiet place to raise children.
Oh my goodness, it was lush.
Yes.
But the depression came because you wake up, it's raining, and lunch you raining, and it's dinner. And I began, white people don't tan out there. It's rust. It's beautiful, but it's just you're just bronze coating, So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So that was the first time I started wanting to do something towards myself with mental health. Okay. And it was like $124 an hour. And I'm like, I don't have that for therapy. But there were open mics downtown. And I'm like, I don't, what in the world is an open mic? And so I went, and it was people one by one that would get up and just do different things. And I'm like, what I got to lose? I'm going to tell these people my problems. And I got up, and people were like, oh my God, you're so funny. Can you come back next week? I'm like, shoot, I got a bunch of problems. Yeah. So,
well, let me ask you something, Kim, because that's a good thing, because we have a segment on Sundays. It comes out right now on our Model Collect. And we do with self-care, mental health, and all that. And actually, we're going to have you on as a guest, and we can send you a link. Because that's people really think a lot of the mental illness is from COVID. This has been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm finding that people in my industry, young people I would have never known, we did a pageantry for models. I think the last one we did just before COVID, 2018. And one of the girls, young woman who got up there, she was from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and they asked her to talk. Bella, I would never believe it. And she said, if I had not gotten into this competition, I was getting ready to kill myself. And you looked at her and she looked good, but people don't want to deal that, and especially in our field, entertainment and life, young mom, all of those things that we're dealing with so much that the inside, we're taking care of everybody else but ourselves. Oh, yeah. And for whatever reason, people think people in the entertainment and the beauty world, that we don't have issues. We are human, and I cannot make them understand that we are big, it's a circle. We are complete. So we have all those emotions, and you stepped out into getting that mic and getting up there expressing things that they thought was funny, but you were releasing something, and the Lord told us if we release it, we can get cleansed, right?
But it would come home with me, great. Now what are we going to do next? I'm like,
So that's how you got started.
And that's how, so at that point, Tacoma, Washington, they had a Tacoma Talent Quest. And everyone was singing, and so I was like, and they were like, anybody else want to audition? And I put my name down, and so I got up there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is way, and lo and behold, I won.
You won, isn't that something?
And they had the consolation gift or the prize. They had actually associates from LA who were there, and talent agents, and so at that time it was, hey, would you consider coming down to Los Angeles?
Wow.
And I looked, and I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I had a choice. My children, I could leave and go make a name, and my children not have a mom, or I could take a moment and raise these children because they didn't ask to be here. And if funny is funny, come back to it.
Okay, so let me do this, but that's great. Let me do this for just a minute. We're going to take a break and we're going to go out into a commercial. We're dealing with some, like in the whole world's on technology. We're dealing with some technical things. So, Coy, take us out on a commercial and we'll be right back.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
So, Kim, one of the things that I mean, you're just so impressive and so humble, and it's so amazing in our industry. And in our industry, people can get a little bit full of themselves.
Yeah.
But when you do it the right way, you get carried. God just carries you.
God is, yes.
And you empowered men, women, children. Tell me about that public speaking and. So, okay, guys, you see, we're talking about modeling. We're talking about becoming a comedian.
Yes.
We're talking about public speaking. And guess what? Ain't our mom.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Yes. So, how do you get that? How do you get with people and empower them? Are there certain groups that you go to? Or something you were invited to? Or is just something after the end of the set you just get out there and start empowering people?
Well, and Marlene, it's a couple of things. Not really knowing what or how, just traveling the journey.
Yes.
Relationships. Wow. Okay, the breakup. Oh, the kids. Just traveling the journey. Finding God and really, really. And I can't say I made him the head of anything. I was like, oh, thanks, God. Come on, get in the back seat. Who does that?
Yes.
So,
yes.
and then out of that love, he was like, okay, but you're going to realize I need to be driving. I was like, okay, drive. But I began to embrace what had occurred to me and what that meant to who I would go back. Now, it wasn't... I'm not going to talk to this person but, adolescence. I was a high-risk youth.
Yes,
I was a runaway. I had a lot of things going on at home. And so that encouragement, I know how that feels.
Hold
I know.
It right there. I want them to hear you. She was a high-risk teen.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, I was. Teens, 20s, 13 for me, teens, 20. There's always opportunity and hope. Always. Here she
Beyond.
sits. Nickelodeon.
Yes, I was a teenage mom, 17.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. That's what I go back and I want to make the difference in. Homelessness, you name it, domestic violence. And through all of that umbrella, mental health. So because of the mental health issues, I had the other issues.
Yes.
So going and actually tapping in with NAMI, the National Alliance of the Mentally Ill.
Yes.
I was able to get some certifications so that I am certified to be a facilitator in the peer mediations, family support.
Okay.
And so empowering those places within my heart. And not just having to say, and good evening. Don't get me wrong, I can do that, but
yes,
the vehicle
yes,
that God gave me was goofs.
Yes.
I love being goofy. So it was how does this message, and working with Michael Collier, a mentor and just a phenomenal comic. And his thing was, when you have that crowd of people, what is your voice and what is your message?
Amen, girl.
And early
we're
on,
supposed to be having the show now, so you trying to take us to church.
No, not because I only know
they,
Team Bible.
no. They seen me go to church last month. I went on. But that's it. And his name again says the gentleman?
Michael Collier.
Michael Collier. Because
Comedian Michael Collier.
Yeah, what do you have a voice?
Yeah.
And where you're putting that voice.
And as a comic, other comics know that comes. It's cultivated. And so 5 to 7 years, good luck. Because you're the components of comedy and you're fixing it. So I would literally call, in 18 years, I'm blessed to know a lot of comics. I don't know, oh my God, I don't have my voice yet. And they be like, pay your dues, click. So I knew that my voice was of service.
Yes.
And so acknowledging that with God in my life, you just leave that message of encouragement. And Marlene, I've come from, as I said, I'm a broken little girl who wound up being a woman that became shattered. But I've learned that broken glass shines better than crystal.
Wow, didn't know that.
Next time you look at a crystal vase, the vase, the prism,
or the balls.
and the light hits it. But when you see shattered glass on the street and the sun gets, it just sparkles all over.
Oh my gosh.
So shattered glass sparkles brighter.
Yes.
So and these are God honest truth. I've had people inbox me messages, and I cry. I'll tell you one briefly. I had a piece where I would run clips on my Facebook and so on, but there was a part where I wanted to sell my daughter, and he said, "You don't know me, message me." He said, "But right now, I'm homeless and I'm on crack." He said, "I'm actually in the library today to let my family know I'm still alive." He said, "Today is the anniversary of my only child's death." Wow. He said, I guess you just streamed through. I saw your clip and I looked again and I went back and I saw your clip. And he said, I started to laugh. He said, I want you to know today that you made a difference in someone's life. Now this is October and I'm reading this like and I'm crying. So then in December, he writes back and says, "Hey, it's me. 2 weeks after that, I got clean and sober.
Wow.
I want you to know this is because So then in January, he writes back and says, February the 1st, I will be in my trial sermon. I will be giving my trial sermon. Amen. Had it not been for your comedy,
you just don't know who's
I can't take credit for that.
Yeah. But you're that vessel.
Yeah.
You're the vessel.
Yeah.
And you are obedient to the
I
vessel.
can acknowledge that.
Okay, I'll take you there.
Other than that.
That's all. I'll take you there. Yeah, we'll take you there.
Yes.
But you have to, and we have to. We have to acknowledge, and you said some things, acknowledging that vessel, and I love it. I have this thing, and I was sharing it with people. I said, during the season, and one time Shamika and I did it when we were at the studio, I'm going to make sure I put bags in my car with food and water and people on the street, and give them an encouragement. You just don't know. People think that everybody's walking up and down the street, living under a tent, just never wanted things. No. They have been broken. Life can break you, but sometimes having that comedian voice or having that message, you don't know whose life you're gonna touch. And I have to share this because as you were sharing that story, when I'm talking to, because I mentor young people too, one of the things I tell them after we go through everything, get midway through that workshop or whatever, I'm going to ask you this question: are you going through? or you're growing through. And that was a message I know years and years I set up under Les Brown.
Oh,
and
wow.
I worked with him and set up under him for many years. And
You're humble. Wow. That's phenomenal.
Yes. And I'd never forget that. Are you going through or growing? And you grew. And you grew. And it's not easy. And if it was easy, everybody could do it. You know, we had some challenges even today. And you know how that little enemy tried to get up in your head. And I said, we're going to go head on.
Yes.
I said, we're going to make it happen. So all of those, the empowerment of people. And also, you was a radio personality. You got to give me some tips.
Oh, my God. No. Janet. Oh, my God, Miss Marlene. I'm the black version of Lucille Ball. So I'm on the opposite side. So much as this. Guess great. No, this is wonderful. So Praise 104 back home says, you want a job? So I'm like, yeah, I can get up every morning. And they were like, no. You're going to learn how to engineer. Huh?
Engineer, see?
So I wound up being the regional morning personality of the Tom Joyner Morning Show.
Tom Joyner.
So it's 8. Well, hi, this is Kim, and you know what? I-64 today. It's going to be crazy traffic, and the weather report is going to be 85 with a precipitation. Now back to you.
So I do know you.
Do you?
Because I listen to Tom Joyner all the time.
So they put me, I had to bring this down, top of the hour, bring this up, stop the commercial. I looked like Richard Pryor and the Wiz. And one day, and I'm a comic, I'm like, what do you all expect? I had the news going on with the traffic. It was like, good morning, friend. And I was like, and the radio owner is calling me like, what? I'm like, I don't know, bye. It was, oh my God.
Yeah,
so needless,
That was experience. But you knew that wasn't you.
I think they knew. I think they knew.
They knew. But anyway, I'm gonna go into a few more things, and then we're gonna go out on our next commercial. We talked about you in Louisiana, Louisville.
Yeah.
Why am I going to say Louisiana?
Well, it's LOU. So King Louis, we have
John always tell me, Miss Marlene, you got to stop that. You're always calling something that's supposed to be
that's me.
something.
I create words.
Same thing?
Oh my God.
I do it all the time.
And my mother's a speech pathologist, and she's like, that's not a word. And I'm like, bootylicious is in the dictionary, and now bling. I might get 40,000 for this. You create words now.
You do. And then if enough people do it, they put it in
$40,000 Webster.
And they put it in Webster.
Yes.
So, but I don't even want to touch on that until we come back. I want to touch a little bit about Mom Maisley and the glamorous Kim Vaughn. Such a discontrast in the appearance. I remember my daddy and Mama sitting down there watching Mom Lane. I said, well, why are they watching that woman? But But do you remember? Of course you do.
Mom's Maybelline. My first tour out was with Dolomite. Rudy Ray Moore. And from that, as risque as he was, he wanted a very clean, fun comic. Okay. Of course, I'm a woman's man, so female. So I would go out and I literally learned the history of black comedy. Oh, okay. Red Fox and Flip Wilson and Mom's Mabley and Aunt Edna and Aunt Esther and all the way into Richard and so hearing that as a little girl, now I've told you I love being in the box. Whatever utility I had, refrigerator, dryer, oven, it was gonna be cut out, and it was my box. It was on TV. But I used to watch the Apollo. And Kiki Shepard and the clothes and the way she would vote, and I was like, I want to do that.
I know what you mean, because Lord knows I wanted to sing.
Oh my God!
And I was in high school. We started this group called the Four Wonders, and they let me lead. I was the only one who didn't have a voice. I couldn't sing, but I was a good performer. God knows I performed.
yeah.
We would never win first place. We always came in second place. That guy used to win first place. I can't remember his name. I think he's went on now. But he reminded me of Marvin Gaye. I said,
Oh, wow.
They just make him win because he looked like
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye. But that boy, little Skip, that boy can sing.
Yes.
But I know what you're saying. I could not sing. I always wanted to sing. They put me into all the background girl. They try them girls have some voices, so they'd be covering me up.
I had a lazy eye.
It's amazing about how we want, you know where you don't belong. But I did know I belong in the beauty and fashion entertainment business. I did know that and my parents, it's a no-no. And
Yes,
my generation,
yes.
you are a teacher or a nurse.
Yeah.
I used to
Yes.
sneak up to Philadelphia to go to modeling school.
Wow.
And I got caught because my mother's oldest sister caught me at the train station. I live in Wilmington. Caught me in train. Whew, I got the whooping of my life. But anyway.
But yeah, that's how that came about.
That's way. And then I decided, can I please, because I was in Catholic school, can I please go to beauty school? So they let me go to beauty school. Because that was my dream, to do that thing. So you have to know. Singing was out. They always say, baby, please stop. You can't sing. When all the little cousins got up, I would be all out too.
But no, I was told that I was too pretty to be a comic.
Well, let's
And
address
it
that.
just, and I was like, what? And they're like, when people sit in the audience, they're not going to listen to you. They're just going to watch you.
But that's what you want.
At the time, I was working with Nickelodeon. I had a publicist because the America's Funniest Mom had come through season 3.
Oh, I saw that. You were a part of that.
And I'm going, they said I can't for comedy because I'm too pretty. And she was like, you're the Glamour Girl Comedy. I was like,
Gave you your name. Ah,
so that's how it came.
Nat, we're going to look. When we come back, we're going to talk about how she got that name at the Glamour Girl Comedy, and how we're going to talk a little bit about Mom's Baby from you to the Glamour Girl Comedy, and I mean it's amazing. And because you're in a man's world, girl, so we're getting ready
even
to go
that. Yes,
you're in a man's world. So we're going to get ready and go out to our commercial break, and we'll be right back.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
And we're back. Kim, because I know when, being introduced to you first, of course, a little over your literature.
Yes, you are such a wonderful, warm spirit.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, she's a comedian. She do pretty be a comedian. And I start writing stuff because, when I used to model, they told me I was too short, but I fooled them.
See? The stereotypes.
Yeah. I was too short. I said, I'm going to fool y'all because there's going to come a time for petite. But that's something that I was so interested in when I saw you, and I was fascinated. I said, now, she is not what they like to see as a typical comedian. And I went back to Mom Maisley.
Yeah.
And I said, Mom Maisley, and there was some in-betweens, but I said, and Kim. And that name, she said the Glamour, how did they name you? The Glamour?
The Glamour Girl of Comedy.
Yes.
Because I was just told, when you look at, number one, comedy, you're making someone feel okay for the disaster. Mm. And you know what? I drink so much. Well, okay, I'm not alone.
Yes.
I can't keep a man. I
never thought of it like
man,
that.
I'm so fat. So people are like, what kind of problems you got? And I got problems. Leave me alone. Because they're like, oh, nobody's gonna identify. People are gonna want to be you. And so I'm like, but yeah, that's the believability. And I was like, but I'm goofy. Like, so they were like, oh, okay, but yeah.
Okay.
So that was the challenge of the no I had to twist to press on.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna tell anyone or let someone in my fear factors of never doing what I felt I was God given to do.
And it's sad though, because people are always putting labels on people.
Without a doubt.
And and like you said, if you don't watch it, you could feed into that. Getting up on there, being the glamour, because the stereotype was always women as a mom Nagley, with the great big old shoes and the crazy hat and looking ridiculous.
Pearl Bailey, you had a lot.
Oh yeah, Pearl Bailey, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was typical.
Yeah.
And then to have someone come along, glamour. So now you've opened up a whole opportunity to a whole another group of comedians.
We started to see that.
Mm-hmm.
We started to see that. But here the other thing was, because of the male dominating arena, you had the really risque. You had the voluptuous. And I'm like, okay, how do we make this in the middle? Because and the tone. And then that was the second thing, I would get booked and people would be like, oh, you're a black comic, black female, you're raunchy, aren't you?
Wow, stereotype.
Because once again, that was kind of what was expected.
Yes.
And I was like,
because that's what was presented.
Yeah.
That's what was presented.
So I was like, no, I'm really kind of mad at my uterus. I don't want to talk about it. It's just me and her having issues. I don't want to tell her. Yeah. I don't want to tell people about me and my body. And no, I'm really upset with it. I turn off the lights when I get undressed. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it was once again having to go against.
Yeah. And the industry is so crazy. About in every area, whether it's an entertainer, but you're a model now, a comedian, the actors. I mean, you see them, some of them around there looking like Twiggy. I don't know if y'all know who Twiggy is.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about my audience. Do y'all know the anorexic? But now they're all.
They call it the hollow look.
The hollow look, and they look sick.
They are. I need a cracker.
Yeah, they look sick. But the industry is changing. It's taking a little while. It's like trailblazers like yourself who are showing that it is. And then you have that statue of, you're not going to intimidate me. I'm going on here and I'm going to do my thing. You know what I mean?
I'm glad I feel that looking, because I'm just like, shaking parrot.
Go ahead and do what you need to do. But Kim, I'm getting ready to put you on the spot.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit comedy.
Oh, gosh. No, you know what? And that's just it. People will be like, is this really you, or is this your set? And I'm like, no, it's really me. Like, I have a child with a misspelled tattoo. That's part of my, really, my son has a misspelled tattoo. And I, he comes home and he's got this, tattoos. It's great. But tattoos, to me, if I see it, you're out of the wheel. I don't want to,
I know,
and then tears of a clown, you got them on your face.
Oh, yeah, what's up with that? I see them tears of the clown.
And if
I said, baby, can you take that off? Is that artificial? No, that's for real. I'm like, oh, my God, you did
a woman's name, if there's any woman's name that should be on me, you is me. So, so when this came along, and my stories are real stories.
They're real stories.
But, the quirkiness, I've got...
Well, just interviewing you is fun.
Oh my God! Thank you. My son wanted to drive my car, and 16, he's got dreadlocks, and I'm wonderful about hairstyles and expression. But I told him he didn't maintain them, so he looked like a little fuzzy. I don't know what it looked like. Jar Jar Binks off of Star Wars.
That's their style.
So not my car. So he kept saying, let me drive the car. And I said, cut your hair. Let me drive the car. So he pulled one. He said, Mom. He said, Jesus had long hair. He said, you there you go being preachy again. You stereotyping me.
Yeah.
Hair is, and he's like, so if my father says bronze and his skin and hair was thick like wool. And I said, well, that's good. Jesus didn't ask to use my car. Jesus walked everywhere. Him the
That's
boys.
comedy right there, right?
So
See,
yeah.
But I know what you're saying because my grandson, y'all saw him on set. But did any of you guys see him before? I personally made an appointment to my stylist to get his hair done. I couldn't take it. I thought it was a, what do you call it? An owl's nest, something.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, I told my son, how can I said, oh, take him to get his hair done. I can't take it. But that's the way I went into the bank. And one of the young bank managers, he was in the suit and he was looking, until I looked up at his head, he had the dress and it was pink and blue. I'm like, oh my God, he's waiting on customer. But that's normal. I mean, that is what they call normal. So it's just a whole different.
It's a whole
But you know
different
what?
world.
But we have to, and I thought about it. I said, okay, I'm prejudging my grandson because he articulates well. He's very smart. But the hair, I couldn't get with the hair.
And a lot of people can't. So while you want self-expression, if you are relying on someone else's idea of who you are to compensate your self-expression, but you need to pay a mortgage. Your self-expression, if you're not an entrepreneur that is really at a point where you're reaping the proceeds, then you're going to have to be rely on someone else to afford that.
Yeah.
So then that's where the conflict, well, I just work for myself. Well, okay, well, great.
But that's a good thing.
But
guess what? Depending on the industry, who are the clients that you want to come to you? And in order, money's green.
Yeah.
So you have to be diverse.
But not your hair.
Hair. You have to come to a happy medium when you're out here in the professional world, whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever. I mean, I started out in salon business. I owned 3 salons by the time I was 24 years old.
That is nice.
2 in Wilmington and 1 in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And really making it, and my salon wasn't no running around, wasn't no hanging around, wasn't no selling no stolen clothes, and kids not running, they don't have appointments.
Because you can go shopping in a salon right now.
Yeah, you can. Right?
Downy, diapers,
still doing that right now.
T-bone steaks, you name it, socks. Just be still and get a perm. You're gonna come out with garbage bags.
I mean, I wanted to be professional, and I got criticized in my own community because you don't want to go there.
Unfortunately,
I know. I'm wearing the business here.
Yeah,
and I wanted it to be nice, and I wanted it to be clean. I wanted people to feel that they were going to be valued once they come in there, so it depends. So when you do that, you can do all the people in there selling clothes, but you limit your income. Because there's a certain market that's not going to come in there.
You have
the ones who got the real 100%. Money, they're not coming in that environment.
100%.
100%. So you have to be willing, whether it's in comedy, as a cosmetologist, you have to. And I have a lady who does my nails, not to change something. God knows she is the best in my area. Love her, been going to her. We built up there babies 15, 16 years ago.
Wow.
I do. She's so good, but I can't get through the clutter. So
don't come to my house.
No, that's your house. Your house and your business is 2 different things. Child, that girl is good, but you know what? Every now and then I got to go somewhere else. They don't do as good as job, but it's so clean. It's so professional. They don't allow people to come stand over the station while your nails are being done, your feet being done, and even though they're not as good as her, but I go there. Because I can go into an environment that I'm relaxing, my well-being. So the other lady, she is so good, but I just can't take it. There's just junk everywhere. And it's a beautiful place. It's gorgeous, but it's just junky. And people hanging all over the stations and kids running through it.
Well, it's supposed to be a time where you have self-care. It's like, I'm getting my nails done.
Yes.
But now it's like, baby, get your toy. Okay. She's hollering over here.
Years ago, and this is when I came to that conclusion. I was a teenager working in another salon, and a little kid went in the back in the supply room and drank some color. And them people sued, I'll never forget, in Wilmington, where we're from, sued that man for everything. But they should not have had him allowed them to come into there. And kids, you can't keep, and it's not a place for them. If someone's coming in to get a facial or whatever, and they pay
and you
for
doing this, if you don't sit down, you're done.
And they pay for their babysitter, no. So, and that's what I was explaining to my grandson. I said, you can have all of that, and you can keep all of that hair, but just manicure it. make it look a little better. Like if you're selling your house and you have the fabulous house, the prettiest and the largest house in the neighborhood, but your grass is too high, people not gonna come to buy it.
The more diverse you are,
Yeah.
is the bigger your audience can grow.
Yes.
It does not mean that you minimize your identity and your self-worth and who you are, but make it applicable to everyone.
Everyone.
You want to be used and needed. I want people in corporations to say, oh, we've got to get her here. I want people in churches, oh my God, she's got to perform. I also want, youth centers.
Yes.
So if I come in just, how y'all doing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or I am so,
No.
you got to be able to adjust to your atmosphere, especially in fashion.
Yes. You just can't. And in corporate, you might get in the door, but you're going to limit yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to limit
And
yourself.
quickly is someone there that doesn't want you there. And if you give them a reason, don't fall for that excuse.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm hoping you young people, you want to go into this modeling and comedian entertainment world.
Oh yeah.
There's I love what you said there, Kim. You don't lose your identity in it. We're not talking about losing your identity, because be who you are. I'm going to be redhead. And I'm going to be that because y'all don't know. When I was a kid, I dyed my hair black. And I got the worst whooping in my life because I'm a chocolate girl. I was a chocolate girl with red hair. Now, my cousins look like you and they had red hair. That was okay.
You sneak away to go to modeling school. You dyeing your hair. You bad.
Yeah, my mama tore me up when I wanted black hair because everybody was teasing me. And, I got little grays in there now. But, they got stuff what you call wash it away. So we wash it away.
Mine is wishing and bleaching and wishing. You call me speaking Span. I use so much bleach. Hey, I'm squeaky clean.
So what you're gonna wear, and I'm gonna stay who I am.
Yeah.
I often wonder. I say, as I get older, would I ever go to a little gray, salt and pepper with a little red? My mama beat me so bad, girl. My mama beat me so bad for dyeing my. Yeah. Not only did she beat me when I came from the class from cosmetology with this short black hair. My hair was like here. I ain't never really had long hair. This is about long. She cut it all off. Boy, I'm telling you, my daddy said, I told you about you don't hit girls. My dad didn't believe in hitting the girls. But I'll never forget that. So my young lady was doing my hair one day, and I said, because I put a lot of tension on it, and I know better. I love braids. I had to come out of my braids as I went, started the alopecia stuff. And so she said, okay, Miss Marlene, one of my students, okay, I'm going to put this black net on your head and we're going to do the crochet. I said, honey, let me just tell you something, baby. You ain't putting nothing black on my head. Because you weren't sitting there. But my mama gave me that whooping. It's a no. It's a no. Yes, I know no. It ain't happening, So, you go through your identity. And, me growing up as more of a chocolate Afro-American, I got teased a lot. about my hair.
Even fashion. You had, if it wasn't for the Iman and for the Beverly Johnsons, it was really, and later on we had Naomi Campbell.
But how about Naomi Sims was a star.
Oh, my gosh.
You remember your baby when she was doing it, Naomi Sims. Oh, my gosh, she was gorgeous.
You had... it just, when you go on. But nowadays, there is a young lady, and I don't know her name.
What is she?
She's Nigerian.
Oh.
Really. She
oh my
is
God, I think I know.
Extreme.
Yeah, I know exactly. I don't know her
and
name
so
either.
That other end of the spectrum is now whatever.
Yeah.
Because the market, you had to quit participating in this market.
Yes.
When you've got all women that use Dove, you've got all women that are using Esoterica, you've got all. So why do I have to look? I wish I was 5'11".
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because I used to try to stretch myself, girl, and people try to tell me I had to be tall. I'm serious. I used to have my friends, come on, y'all, pull me. Make me tall. The stuff we go through because we're trying to live this image of everything, and that's what I love about Maya, and that's what I love about our show. We are all people in connected. You will find our team is everybody. We make up the map of America. We do.
Oh, wow.
We make up the map of America.
And that's what it should be.
And that's what it should be. You know, we make up the map of America. We have great people from every different walks of life, different nationalities that work with it, and everybody brings that gift. And it's just a wonderful thing. But I tell you one thing, y'all hear me. If I was walking around chewing on my gum and acting crazy, I couldn't bring all people together, okay? So you need to clean it up.
But even my hair, they told me with the sitcom, we don't have any woman with real short hair. And you go back in TV, everyone's got long hair.
Yes.
And I was like, what you do now? I'm not about to put, because I even tried to wear, I don't know what has happened to my hair. I've only been like this for 5 years.
I love it.
And it was a meltdown. Oh my God, I had red in my hair, and I had to be obedient. People are like, no, seriously. I had a whole team. At that time, I had a manager, directing manager. I had a stylist. I had a hairstylist. I had a fashion designer. I had an assistant. And I woke up, and that's when
They
Marlene,
they probably over you so much that it's not healthy.
I would
sometimes.
wake up and it would be 40 text messages, and nothing was fun, nothing was creative. And at that time, I had this fire engine red hair, and I had the little cuts, and people were like, "Oh my God, I love your hair." Well, God told me to walk away, and I was like, "God, you talk about some bookings." Now, at the time, I was hosting the Voice Awards in Vegas, and walk away. We can't do this over coffee. So I walked away. And along with that was the hairdresser or the designer who had mixed all these colors together to get this orangish red.
And had a formula, had her own formula, yeah.
I had about this much gray underneath this red, and I'm like, Jesus, I look like a candy cane. Okay, and it was permanent. So I'm watching it wasn't coming out. So that's somebody like had scarves and performing. And I tried wigs, but I don't know what had happened. But my head shrunk, so it was almost like E.T. in a wig. And I would get on stage, it was like a hair hat. I can't deal with that. And so I tried to bleach it, and it turned pink.
Oh, my goodness.
This is God's honest witness. And I cried, and I just got the clippers. I didn't have a team for my hair, and I was in my sister's basement. And I came upstairs, and my brother-in-law was like, "Oh, baby, she done lost it." And oh my God, I had like little sprinkles. I didn't even know how to cut it. I was doing it like a lawnmower. And people were like, in my head, my story was disaster.
Wow.
Oh my God, you're always reinventing yourself. Oh my God, you're something. I'm like, yeah.
Kim just gave us a show today. And it's
But
real,
yeah,
but it's a whole
that's-
real.
yeah.
So that I love that unique about it. And I think that my husband teases me because they'll be having comedians, and I'm like, why everybody laughing? You're funny.
Yeah.
But I can laugh at you, and you're
Yes,
funny.
yes.
It makes a difference. I said, baby, what did they mean? He said, baby, this is what they mean. I said, oh, okay, I got it. Them lights are making me tear up. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a wonderful walk down to the whole thing as far as you left the modeling world. Did you ever do runway when you were in there, or mostly commercial? Or,
I did, regionally, but I was interviewed by the Ebony Fashion Fair.
Oh, girl, don't even
through.
go there because I used to work for them. Don't go there.
And they came to Louisville.
Oh, they did.
And I'm 5'7" and a half. That half means so much to me because I wanted to be 6 feet. And they told me I was too short because you need to be 5'11" barefooted.
Yeah, and then when Ebony Fashion Fair we went.
And so regionally, I did some things. Most of it was print.
Okay.
But yeah,
Print is good. But I did work for Ebony Fashion Fair.
That
up in the Delaware, Philadelphia area when we came to town.
Oh, wow.
What an experience.
Yes.
What an experience.
And you don't see that glamour. I understand reflections and urban. That was, once again, it was just ooze. It was the dresses
and all of the
women were gorgeous, and it was an appeal. It was glamour.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything hanging out.
No, it was glamour.
And you still had, the walk and the oh my goodness.
And yeah, it was amazing. And I think I was around early 20s.
Yeah.
When I and I was just thrown in. I didn't even know what I
Wow.
was doing. Somebody had me working with them, and I'm just thrown in. I was just thrown in.
But you know what? That's the greatest. That Forrest Gump is.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why,
yeah.
and I just became. That's when it's really great.
And you're little
Impromptu.
you're a kid, and you're like this. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And you're seeing the Rolls Royces pull up, and you're seeing the drop.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, is this real? He pinched myself.
Wow.
Because this stuff is real. But see, like everything else, that led me to work for Miss America. See, I worked for Miss America for 10 years. Miss Universe for 4. So all of these things lead into something
Are
else.
you serious?
I'm serious.
You are just wow. I'm blown away.
But like you,
Wow.
these things, one thing that you were thrown into, I'm gonna come back to the salon. Don't make me forget that. You know, I have a senior moment, so I can come back. When you're thrown into something and you're just in awe, and then that leads to other opportunities in your life that I wasn't even looking for.
But if you had never been
hairstyling.
obedient to what God was showing you, that one step, you never would have gone where you were, you know.
Okay. 5. Okay. So you wouldn't have known that. You know, you wouldn't have known that. And going back, I was going to say I was going back to the salon, but I can't. See that? I lost that thought. That's why sometimes you see me talking. It ain't that I don't want to talk, because, you know, sometimes I forget. Girl, I got to get some Protege. Protege, what's that stuff, Protege? Call them on the phone so we can advertise for them so they can be our sponsor. I did talk about y'all today. I need to get some of that. So, okay, so we're going to do that in a minute. But Kim, you know, we're going to do a few more things. We're going to go and add on our commercial and come back. But this has been such a pleasure.
I know.
And I'm looking for us to do some things together.
Absolutely.
We have some big functions coming up next year. We're going to celebrate, I think, our 5th year of being on the air.
Oh, wow.
And a fashion show and some big things. We're going to do some big things.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do some big things. Okay. So anyway, we're going to get ready to go out on a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Anyone got a tissue? Lights are starting to...
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Kim Vaughn.
I know, right?
It has been this is wonderful. Just having this opportunity. We can never say how much we appreciate you taking some time out
ditto.
to come on our show. And we were so fascinated with that whole thing, the glam girl of comedy. You're probably, we know you're setting trends, and your branding. How does it influence the industry?
How does it influence the industry? And that was the other thing. My brand had to open doors. So Glamour, that's skincare, that's along the line. I have a perfume that I'm working on.
Nice.
So you open the doors because it was still the glamour. What does that skincare? So and empowerment.
Yes.
Glamour is timeless. Can we instill it in the youth?
Yes.
Can we
yes.
walk and talk with it and watch that bloom? So branding is everything. Everything that I had to look the same.
Yes.
So Facebook photos, the same as Instagram, the whole branding. Taking the time to just really bring it to paper.
Yes.
Not so anyone who's got that business, that idea, the branding, you can do it.
Yes.
Why not
Yes.
you? But just follow,
You got to be considered.
Yeah.
The pattern has to.
Yeah.
It has to have a special flow.
And you have to make them believers.
Yes.
I'm the Glamour Girl Comedy because I told people.
Yeah. So in that note, skincare. When you get ready, let's collaborate. Because I want to be talking about me. We talking about you. I was an international trainer for Johnson Products for 20 years. So we need to talk.
Wow.
Yeah. Girl,
You are I'm on the Marlene Cox. Do y'all hear me? I'm on the Marlene Cox show.
So that's collaboration, and this is how things start.
Nothing is by accident.
No, we need to. And what our businesses in this industry need to do. People who go to do people say, come up with a product. I can come up with a product. I work with chemists and all that stuff, but I don't want to. I want to collaborate with someone else. I don't want to do it alone. I just don't. And come up with a good skin line, skincare. Because I'm all about skincare. My mother started when I said 10
You
11 years
look
old.
effortlessly gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
Your face, you have volume.
Ooh, girl,
I looked today and I was like, I don't know if I want to go on her show. She's really pretty, and I'm working on insecurities. All right,
you're gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
You're
so
gorgeous.
as far
You're
as
gorgeous.
the aging, you've kind of challenged that and won. You
God
look
has been
wonderful,
good, girl. I'm telling you, it's all. But it goes back to. I'm like giving back all my life. I work with youth and giving back because I've always been into health. I'm a holistic. Now that doesn't mean I don't eat junk sometimes because I do.
That's returning back.
Yes, and God, and it's. Janet looked at me one day and said, "What are you doing?" And I'm telling everybody, but I've hit the big, and not shame of it, but I just know how people treat you when they know you're a certain age. But I'm what they call, I can't even go by AARP because they start sending you that stuff at 50. I got so mad at them people said, so what are they sending me stuff for? I'm not retiring. Till I get on the other side. There you go. But I'm into that whole skincare and thing, and working with chemists. So we'll talk about that at another time.
You are so fascinated. I don't think you
You're
give a tablespoon to your own show. How? Oh my God, magnanimous you are. That's wow.
And I, you know what? Only because I have good people around me, and they help it. And
your teamwork is your dream work. Yes.
And when I share with people, and I sometimes when I get up and speak, and I said I'm sharing my life and what I've done. I'm not sharing with you for this.
Oh,
no, because I'm sharing with you to let you see the possibilities.
And
because so many, I was a 23-year-old little girl who opened her first business, and my mama said to me, make sure people pay you when you come in. When I come in to get my hair done, I pay you too. Because everybody wants, people got the electric bill, and that's how I got started. And going back to that, and this is really having run your business like a first class.
Yes.
I got started when I never forget, back in the day, we used to have the Jewish suppliers. Used to come around to the slides. You remember that?
Oh my goodness,
and
yes.
this guy came in there and he loved the way I ran my business. And he said, my president of my company, a company called Firmidel, is going to be in Northern Virginia. And I love the way you do your business. I would love for you to meet him. Because they wanted me to be a trainer. They wanted to get their product into an ethnic market. And we drove down to from Wilmington to Northern Virginia. That's not too far from Richmond. And they hired me, and in 2 weeks I was in Belgium training. So you don't tell me about no journey. It's not
again.
Yeah, that's let people know.
You are talking to, your up and coming models, your up and coming fashion designers, your up and coming. You don't know who's watching you. Never. So you always, if you come across 100%, that you never had an idea that you were being watched.
Okay.
Wow.
Tips and tools. Okay. So look. Guess what time it is, Tim? And Tim, I want you to give me 2 tips when I get there about your world of being a comedian, what you would suggest for young people who's coming on. But what time it is? Guess what? It is time for tips and toodles. So here's, if you want to use it, there's a good one.
Oh, honey, write your material. There are people that actually steal. I had a very, very infamous comic steal a joke.
Okay. So, we back on the air, but I love this when you do it. We back on the air. So now we're going to give a couple of tips, but you said that one thing right there. That when we were talking a little bit about delivering, what did you say?
Oh.
Tell them about how important that is.
Your delivery. And that means everything. And that means you study. Yeah, there's different forms of comedy now, but stand up, you study. You write. Quit thinking you're going to remember everything. I've done that. You'll think of something, oh, girl, I got to. No, right then and there, write it down. You get home and go, oh, my God, what was it I just thought about? Yeah.
Yes.
And just, your delivery. And understand you have to make them believers. They're not going to believe until you do. They're not going to follow you until you get on that stage and take control. The audience wants to go with you, but hi, how y'all doing? Y'all good tonight? You only ask the audience 2 questions when you get up there. Otherwise, they don't feel you've got.
So what are those 2 questions?
I mean, it could be anything,
Okay.
but how y'all doing? Feeling good?
Okay.
What y'all eating? Oh, she asked me questions. Now I'm feeling unsure. I don't know if I can laugh. You asking me, what y'all doing tonight? Everything. 2 questions.
2 questions.
Hey, what's going on? Y'all good? Boom. Then you
That's
go.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all, that was a good tip now. You might have to go to her school. And
No.
Okay. And how about that networking and promoting?
Oh, my gosh. Promotion. You cannot wait to do. I mean, wait on the dream. You got to begin it.
You got to be
And you got, even if you don't, to this day, somebody asked me the other day in an interview, tell me something about you no one would know. I am very shy.
What?
Yeah, people.
You hear that, Shamika? She's shy.
I am very shy. If you are not terrified on anything that you do, then something's wrong. Even coming on on the TV, on the network.
Yeah, just one new.
Oh my God, yeah. So and do it anyway.
But Tim, so then there's something wrong with me.
Oh,
Because I can't wait for the cat. I'm never nervous. I don't know what's wrong. As long as I know my material.
See?
And I'm familiar. Now, I got to do that. Now, I am an I can ad-lib.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to think there's something wrong with me. I remember one time we were up in Philadelphia and the MC didn't, you just have MC for fashion.
Yes.
Didn't show up. It was in this convention center, something like 10,000 people. And my niece knew I was in the audience. And they hollered out my name. Is Marlene in the audience? Could she please come in the back? Hadn't rehearsed or nothing. And something wrong with me, girl. I got up there like I was on, they had a rehearsal for 20. We had rehearsal for 20, 30 days. My husband said, baby, we've been married 36 years. He said, baby, I never saw this side of you. I said, but I've been in the business. I said, I've been doing this all my life.
yeah. And so then you rise to the occasion. Like you said, 23. Well, if nobody's going to do it, I got to do it.
I got to do it.
Yeah.
I got to do it. But Kim, we're going to wrap this up today. This has been amazing, amazing.
Thankful that I was here.
So I am so pleased. I'm so glad that now I can say I've met you.
Yes.
And we're going to go into something. But before we close out today, I wanted to remind you that each day is a blank canvas. And guess what? You are that masterpiece. With every stroke of the brush, your thoughts and your actions, you have the opportunity to make this day the best work. So make this your greatest day, and I will challenge you to make this your greatest week. This is the Marlene Cox Show, and we will be back next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kim. It's been so good.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week. Take care.